The markets are looking primed to go to all-time highs, but could we be having one more drop before that time comes? In this video, I'm going to walk you through what to look for, what areas to keep an eye out on the chart for, and see if these bulls are going to step back in so you can make easy money on that move to the all-time high. What's up, everyone? This is Real Life Trading. We have been helping people become consistently profitable traders for over 10 years, and we are one of the highest rated stock education companies on Trustpilot with nearly 1,000 five-star reviews for a reason. We turn our members into consistently profitable traders. So feel free to check out the links down below if you would like some free trading courses to help you on anything that you're struggling, whether you're brand new to trading or whether you've been trading for a little bit but are struggling to see consistent results. We have free trading courses to help you overcome that and start making money in the markets. Those are all down below. All right, let's dive into these charts here, my friends. This is a really strong bull move so far from the bulls. It's continuing through. I was waiting for last week to see where we would be closing in this area, and we closed extremely strong, which is fantastic. So that tells me that since we broke out of this level, bulls should continue to push to the next level, which at this point now is sitting around 610 to 615 here on SPY. I'm looking for that big bull move to come through. It could happen pretty quickly this week, but there could also be one more dip coming in. So if we were to dip back down, where would this thing be potentially going to, and where can you be looking for a buy the dip opportunity? I'm going to be watching very closely the 595 range and the 593 range. In this box right here is where I believe the bulls are going to be. We marked out our charts last week, and you'll notice here that I talked about this was a profit-taking zone right here. This is the spot where I believe the bulls needed a strong close. We got it. Okay, the bears were there. We gapped up and finished strong outside of this zone. So that's fantastic. Shows us strength, shows us that momentum to the bull side is still growing. These are my areas where the bulls should have bought last week. They came through and actually played out pretty nicely. So now let's update these things here and move it to where we just talked about the bulls coming back in. So around 595, again, possibly down to 592, but really like that 593 mark just keeps sticking out to me. If we continue to pull back through this, so let's say the bulls do not step in this first buying area. First off, that would be a hair bit weak, but it's not over with yet for the bulls. That would open the door for probably 575 to come this week. Now, there's still a lot of things in line here, so it could be some false breakouts, but again, this pennant pattern breaking, normally you get pretty strong moves out of here, and that's exactly what we did last week on SPY. Very strong compression for a couple weeks, pennant breakout. Now it looks like things want to continue. So I doubt we get much lower than 593, but if we do, that just simply tells me that these bulls are not quite as strong as I would like to see, and most likely pullbacks into some weekly EMAs are going to be coming into play, and so that's why I'm looking at 575. This is a fantastic support, and if it does start to drop back down, we should be seeing bulls come back in one more time, and then the question will be, can we get to all-time highs from there? It's possible, but time will have to tell, and we'll have to see how strong these bulls actually do come back through. With last week's closures and last week's strengths, again, look for this support to get hit around 593, most likely this week. If it wants to pull back at all, it doesn't have to. We might get shallow pullbacks and then just crank full on out. We'll see how high we can get to this week. 605 is going to be a really big level on SPY, but we're getting so close to this all-time high that I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next target that we could break through potentially this week. So things could get very, very bullish. I love the close of this last week's candle. Doesn't mean that we can't have some pullbacks, but they should be relatively shallow and bouncing. So if not and bigger pullbacks come, I'm simply just going to sit back and wait. That's going to be my game plan, is just to see what momentum starts to come into this market. I don't have to trade every day, every week to be successful. I need to trade when I'm aligned with the markets, when I see the momentum. The momentum right now is very bullish, so if the bulls step back in, it should be some very easy trading up to all-time highs over the next week or two. If the bulls fail to come back in, I'm going to have a little bit more of a question mark now on where these bulls are at, how strong they actually are, and then I'm going to just start waiting for my next level where I can easily read momentum and strength. Anywhere through here is going to be really tough to see momentum. Now, can you do it? Yes, you can go to smaller time frames. You can kind of day trade this. This might be a better day trading area, right? But The clear momentum play is going to be around 575. That's going to be a very easy spot to see just how strong these bulls actually are, because that's our next buying spot. So I simply identify out these sentiment levels, and then I wait for them to get interacted with. I see how much strength is there, and then I ride that momentum and strength. I don't have to try to predict, okay? That's a very, very hard way of making money, is predicting what it's going to do. Don't fall victim to that. Realize the markets will show you their hand if you simply know what to look for. And that's why I make these videos, so that you can be better prepared for the week coming ahead, to be able to see, these are the levels that I want to pay attention to. Let's see what happens if we interact with those levels. Again, it doesn't have to pull back. I believe these markets should be very bullish this week. We'll see. Again, I don't know. It's just that's where the momentum is pointing. So now they've got to follow through and actually go through with that momentum. Let's take a quick look real fast over at Qs. And so Qs are still kind of stuck inside that big bear candle range from Thursday, June 5th. It's not as strong as SPY, but we're also a lot closer to all-time highs than SPY really is. And so I could see, again, dips coming back through. I love 523 on the Qs. This should be a very strong place for bulls to be at. Look for that. Mark that out on your chart. Write notes. Put alerts. So when the markets get to that area, it's a great day trading place. It's a great swing trading area. It's a great place just to see momentum and sentiment. If that starts to break, then now we've got some trend lines starting to fall back through, and again opens the door up to like 504 to 500 on the Qs, and then we'll see just how strong the bulls want to be from there. We're so close to all-time highs, I could see us again running there. And then once we make it to an all-time high, that's where the real closures are going to come into view. So we want to see strong closures at all-time highs. If we start putting in multiple upper wicks on a weekly and a daily chart up in this area, that's a big warning sign, because we are potentially double topping out on a monthly chart. So that could get a little bit interesting. Last week, people put in comments for the videos that they wanted me to go over a few tickers, and Dell was one of those. Let's dive into Dell real quick and give you an idea of what I'm seeing, what levels that I'm looking at, so that you can apply whatever strategies you're doing to those levels and hopefully find a little bit more success. So Dell has made a fantastic move back up. It's closed above some really important key bear levels, and we have not retested those bear levels. So if the bears were going to come back through, the main level that I would be watching would be around $100. This should be a very strong place for the bulls to step back in. I would imagine a lot of bulls would be there, and if we zoom out to a weekly time frame, it's also pulling back into a very strong support on that weekly. Yes, there's a gap fill is there as well. So it makes a lot of sense. Will we actually pull back? Well, I don't know. We tried to pull back last week, and it got bought up right off of the 50. So that should be the kind of line in the sand right now for the bulls to step back in again around 105, 106. And honestly, it does look pretty bullish. If we turn on this trend line here, you'll notice that this is a spot that's been holding us down for a few weeks. So a break bullish above this trend line this week could be very, very strong. You'll see here that we've tried to break out of this multiple times and it's rejected, and now we're gapping up. So strong daily closures up above 117. I would say a retest back down into 110 probably, retesting this trend line, and then a move back up into its next level, which is around 122. So it's on the verge of having some very strong bull moves, in my opinion. It's just, you have to be careful and wait for market closures in this, because we could be getting another false breakout wick. If another breakout wick comes in and we pull back down, that's going to open the door for potentially that 100 level or so for the bulls to try this again. So overall, I'm still very bullish on this. It looks really good. Let's go out to a monthly time frame real fast. Pulled back into a very strong area, key level on a monthly time frame. This is a very nice bull structure that's being built. Now it's just a matter of the triggers to get hit, and I believe one of the strongest triggers that we have is this trend line. So a breakup above this, look for volume to start to flood into Dell, and look for things to possibly make large moves. And final target on this, I would say 150 is very doable. It's just a matter of your time frame and perspective. I'm not sure how long it'll take to get there, but that would be my final target. If this does reject and pull back into 100, now we are potentially looking at an inverted head and shoulder as well. All right. So if we were to measure out this inverted head and shoulder, and just get a little bit more of a picture of where this could be going. That brings us back into pretty much the all-time high level for the expected move. So the expected move of this inverted head and shoulders around 170. That's very close to this all-time high. If we start getting strong weekly closures, retest, this would be a fantastic play. I'm going to add this onto my chart to potentially look to trade and find some setups on, put some alerts out there, mainly starting with this trend line here. So I'm going to add an alert and put it on once per bar close. This is going to be on a weekly time frame because I want to check it on a weekly time frame. If this closes on a weekly and my alert goes off this Friday, then I will now know to start setting up this trade, look for any retests. I got my confirmation. If it leaves without me, great. I'll day trade this up so I can make my money on that bull momentum without having to chase it for overnight risk. I don't want to be putting overnight risk on here until it can prove to me that it's super strong, and then I get a retest so I can have a better risk reward and take it to profit targets. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, my friends. I make these every single week for you, so make sure and subscribe so you don't miss them. Send me more ticker requests there in the comments if you'd like me to take a look at specific tickers for you, and I will make sure to add it on the list there. The one that gets the most thumbs up is normally the one that I gravitate towards and we'll put in the next video. Let me, again, in the comments, let me know what you would like to see in these videos. If you need more tips, more tricks, more strategies, if you would like me to make more videos throughout the week of other ticker reviews or just things that I'm going through, I'm happy to help you guys out any way that I can. Again, check out those links down below for free trading courses. Have a great week, my friends. Follow your plan, and you will change your life. It's just a matter of time. Stay patient, stay diligent, and reach out to us. Let us help you along the way. Love you guys. Have a great week. See ya.